YouTube is up. Let's. I don't know why it does this to me. Don't care. Oh, Lord Almighty, what is happening? All right, and Facebook is live. Sorry that took so long. I swear I just get it, and then they change one little thing, and I'm completely flummoxed again. All right, so let's adjust this a smidge. So better, I think. All right, so I'll just give it another minute since I'm behind schedule, so I know you guys can't be on here until I'm up and running, which is, you know. All right, so I'm going to chat at least for a moment here. So it's Halloween, and I'm not even excited about it. So holidays, I normally do a really more mellow class. And that's because, the days, the light is shorter, right? Nature is trying to tell us to settle down, only we ramp up for the holidays and just get all crazy. So normally I do that a little bit later, like November, December-ish. But I feel like this is sort of like a final chapter kind of thing for here. So I'm gonna do that chill kind of thing here today. And then maybe again next month or December if we need it. Right. So the plan is to stay pretty low on the mat and just to move into your body as feels right for you. So if you want to hang out in a child's pose, if you want to, I don't know, lay back in Shavasana for half of the class, practice the entire class with your eyes closed, whatever it takes so that you get a little bit of a recharge, right? Just a little bit of quietness for both your mind and your body today. So that's kind of the plan, right? Remember to make it yours, and let's get started. So we're going to sit, obviously. We're not getting much higher up off this mat today. So make yourself comfortable here, and if you want to sit up on a block so it's a little bit more comfortable, we'll be here for a minute. So again, make sure it's where you need to be. Aligning your heels. Begin to engage your lower belly. So lifting the pelvic floor, lower belly in and up. We're tall through the sides. Relaxed through the hips and shoulders as much as we can be. Go ahead and close your eyes here and just take a moment to be present on your mat. Noticing any areas of your body that you might need a little extra TLC today. And begin to simply observe your breath. Breathing all through the nose, gently begin to expand into that breath. The inhale's a little bigger, and the exhale's a little bit more complete. Finding that nice full yoga breath. And then let's check in to make sure that breath is even. So as you inhale, count to see how long it takes you to get full. And then as you exhale, see if you can match that number. So it takes just as long to get empty. Creating that full, even breath. And then take that breath and say you were counting to 4. See if you can stretch it out and take it maybe 5 counts or 6, both inhaling and exhaling. And without necessarily changing the count, see if you can slow it down, right? So as if you were sipping air through a super skinny straw, both inhaling and exhaling. And maybe that drags your count a little longer, but not necessarily. Keeping that idea in mind, cut it back just a little bit, making it a bit more manageable. And on the next exhalation, we're going to drop the chin down to the chest, stretching the back of the neck. On the inhale, lift the face up toward the ceiling without just dropping your head back. Exhale it back down again. And inhale and lift. Bringing the head back to the middle. Inhale here. And then exhale and look over your left shoulder. Coming back to the center. Exhaling to look over your right. And back to center again. Let's exhale to the left, this time letting the chin roll toward the shoulder all the way down to the center of the chest. Inhale and bring your head back up to the middle. Exhale over to the right, chin rolling to the shoulder all the way down. Bringing your head back to center. And then let's drop the left ear over toward the left shoulder. Try to keep that shoulder relaxed, just letting your head kind of flop over to the side. If that feels good, you're done. You can take your right hand and reach away, taking the stretch down your arm a little bit. And if it feels good, maybe take this left hand over the top of your head toward your ear, and then gently adding a little extra stretch. Again, if it feels good. We're going to inhale, come on back to the middle, and then switch, taking the right ear over to the right shoulder, and just kind of letting the head flop over there. Adding the left arm, stretching away. Maybe that right hand giving a gentle little extra. Let's come on back to the middle. Go ahead and extend both arms out. On the inhale, lift them up toward the ceiling. And we'll exhale, bring them back down. Again. And then one more time. Coming back to the top. Exhaling the left hand back to the mat and giving yourself a little side stretch here. Take a nice big breath, open up the right side ribs. And then inhaling, come back to the center. And we'll switch, taking it over to the right. Inhaling, come on back up again. And exhale the arms. Let's go ahead and take the left hand over to the right knee, right hand behind the back, giving yourself an easy little twist over to the left to the right here. Upright on the pelvis, tall through your spine, eyes closed or maybe looking over your shoulder over there. And then releasing that back to center, take your second side. Back to the middle and over to that first side again, working a little bit deeper this time. So pressing into the right arm so we sit a little extra tall. Pulling against the knee so we can rotate the belly, side ribs, and shoulder around. We're going to unwind, come back to center, and do that same idea to the second side, working a little bit deeper into our twist. And then unwinding back to the middle again. So let's take the soles of the feet together. Ankles pulled in. Sitting nice and tall here. So you can stay exactly here. You can use your elbows at your inner hip, right? Try not to just press your knees down, but see if you can get that inner hip to release just a little bit. And if you would like to stay upright, feel free. Otherwise, hinging forward, big belly button to heels. Keeping the shoulders down and back. Giving a gentle little stretch to the hamstrings and inner hips here. On an inhale, hinge back up again. And then extend your legs out long. You're probably pretty happy about that at this point. So wiggle around a little bit if you feel like you need to, making sure that you still feel upright on your seat. If you are still sitting out block, just move that out from underneath your bottom. We don't want to hyperextend the knees. So flex the feet, Sitting up nice and tall here. Let's go ahead and reach the arms up, and we're going to hinge forward, allowing the hands to fall where they fall. Again, here, keeping the shoulders down and back, and just gently moving into that stretch. Notice how when you start, you're in one place, and maybe as you go, it's not. You can go a little deeper, right? As you hold, you can go a little deeper. So let's take one more breath here. On an inhale, we're going to lift back up and release the arms. So let's open the feet out into a straddle. I'm going to turn sideways on your mat, on my mat. If you want to, feel free. And take the legs as wide as they need to so you feel a nice, gentle little stretch. It doesn't have to be crazy, especially not right away. But we're still upright on the pelvis, adjusting your seat if you feel like you need to adjust your seat. And then sitting nice and tall here, let's reach the arms up. We're going to rotate the body over to the left and then fold over this left leg. Let your hands fall on either side of the leg. And check in that that right sit bone didn't lift up off the floor. If it did, put it back. Keeping the shoulders down and back, the spine nice and long. Big breaths. And see if you can press harder into the left hand so that your belly button kind of rotates around toward the leg a little bit more. Feel it? You got one more breath here. And on the inhale, we'll come back up to the middle, rotate to the right, and then do the same thing here, folding over the right leg. Check in with your seat. Lengthen your spine. And again, see about pressing more into that right hand so you can rotate more toward the leg. With the next inhale, we're coming back up to the middle. And then let's release. So go ahead and pin your left hand up underneath your right thigh-ish. Sitting nice and tall here, reach the right arm up, and we're going to hinge over to the left. So using your elbow, your left elbow at your inner thigh, maybe it touches the floor, maybe it doesn't, don't worry about that. You're going to push into it, and instead of rotating your belly button toward the floor, think rotating your belly button to the ceiling. It won't go to the ceiling. But you get the idea, right? Let's take one more nice big breath here. And then inhaling, come back up to the top. And we'll switch. So the right hand underneath the left. Reaching up and hinging over. See if you can get that elbow more to the inner thigh, maybe to the floor. Pressing against it so the side can open up toward the ceiling. And then on the inhale again here, coming back up to the top. We'll release the hands to the middle. Sitting nice and tall, hinging forward here. Think belly button to the floor rather than reaching forward or thinking your face to the floor, right? Hinging from the hips so the spine stays long. You can absolutely support with your hands. You can maybe reach out toward your toes rather than forward. Just a couple more breaths over here. And then with that inhale, hinging back up again and bringing the feet back in. So wiggle around if you feel like you need to wiggle around. Anytime you sit in one position for a little while, yeah? So anytime you need to. So here, we're gonna sit nice and tall and let's bring the right foot flat to the floor. So it can be flat on the inside of the thigh, or it can be flat on the outside. And it can be more toward your hip or more toward your ankle, whatever makes sense, right? You get to hang on here and sit extra tall. So maybe the left leg stays doing what it's doing, but maybe you can bring your heel in front of your sit bone. So the pelvis is upright and level. Your spine is tall. And again, hang on if you need to hang on. Wrapping that left arm around the leg here, take your right hand behind your back. Pushing into the floor behind, pulling against the leg to rotate around. And relax your shoulders, maybe gaze over your right shoulder. Have your eyes closed still here. And then we're going to release back to the middle again. Try not to uncross your legs just yet. So if you still have your left leg out, you can absolutely leave it there. We're trying to bring our shins parallel to the top edge of the mat. So you're going to take this right foot and work it out to the left. And you're going to take the left foot and work it out to the right. So it probably was tucked in a little bit closer to your hip before if it was bent. Right? But we're looking to stack the knees and take the legs parallel-ish to the top of the mat. And then have your pelvis level and your spine nice and tall. Right? So all of these pieces, we work toward the ideal. Might not be the ideal right now. Yeah. Let's take the left arm out. We're going to bring that one in front. Wrap the right arm underneath, between the face and hand here, and see if you can catch your fingers to your palm. You can grab opposite elbow, and it does essentially the same thing. Okay, so we're stacking the knees and we're stacking the elbows. Relax your shoulders. Maybe lift your elbows or adjust your hands closer or further away from your face. Let's gently release the arms. And we're going to unhook our legs. Take your time. Stretch them out, wiggle them around if you need. And then let's switch sides, bringing the left foot flat. And again, maybe it needs to be on the inside. If you can take it to the outside. If you can, bend that right knee. The more important piece is to have the pelvis level and the spine long to twist, right? So where this other foot is not so important. Let's wrap the left arm, support with, wrap the right arm, and support with the left back there. Pushing into the floor, pulling against the leg. Nice big breaths. Releasing that as you come back to the middle. And then again here, we're trying to stack our knees and take the shins parallel-ish to the mat. So wiggling into that the best it's going to get. Leveling the pelvis, sitting nice and tall. Right? And you can even hang on here. If you're ready to add the arms, go ahead and extend that right arm out. Bring it in front. The left arm under, between, and then the fingers catch. Maybe. Again, here, try to relax your shoulders. Adjusting your forearms, maybe. And then we'll release it. Unwinding your legs. Take them out, bounce them around, stretch them out, whatever you got to do here. And then let's come around onto hands and knees. So cushion, of course, if you need to cushion your wrists or your knees. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, be kind to your hands. On an inhale, we're going to drop the belly toward the floor. And with the exhale, round the spine toward the ceiling. So just a gentle little flow like that, in and out. Connected to your breath. We'll take one more flow like that. And then find neutral again. So keeping the belly engaged, the shoulders in this neutral place on the mat, on the back. Let's extend the right leg straight back. Heel in line with the hip. We want to press through that leg, make it like work. And then from there, stretch the left arm forward. Reaching away from the body, keeping that lower belly working. And then release it. Same idea with the second side here, extending the left leg back and the right arm forward. Let's go ahead and release it back down again. And we're going to move back to the second, or the first side. Back to the second side. So right leg back, left arm forward. And then with the breath here, on the exhale, bring your elbow and knee together underneath, give a squeeze, and then inhale, extend away. So following the breath in and out. Let's go once more like that. And then release. Switching sides, left leg and right arm. So again, here, connected to your breath. When you're ready, exhale is pull in. Inhale and reach out. One more time. And then release back down again. So last time here on hands and knees, let's go ahead and take the right leg back and the left arm forward. This time, bend your right knee and reach around and see about finding that foot. So pressing the foot into the hand, you get a little shoulder stretch. You can lift your toes a little higher. Try to keep the knee pointing toward the floor rather than this side. Take another big breath. And then gently release that, stretching out long, releasing down to the mat. Second side. Left leg and right arm. Bending when you're ready and finding that foot. Adding what you can. And then gently releasing, stretching long, and coming back down into your all fours. From there, gently step the hips back to the heels and take a child's pose. So let's stretch the arms out nice and long. And I feel like if you haven't done a down dog, maybe it doesn't feel like yoga, right? So let's go ahead and make our way into down dog. Wiggling, stretching, adjusting. And then settling into it, pressing down through the hands, pressing the chest back, the heels toward the floor, whether they touch or not. We'll lift the left leg. And then we'll step that foot through to the hands and come into a lunge. So drop the right knee to the floor and adjust your toes all the way up to the top. Okay, so your knee stacks over your ankle. Let yourself wiggle around into your hips a little bit. And then imagine drawing your legs toward each other underneath you, taking the left leg straight or straighter. Okay, prop up on a block if you'd like, prop up on your shin if you need, keeping the shoulders back. Let's bend back into the knee, sink low into the hips. Staying square, maybe climb up on the thigh here, keeping the hips nice and low. Lift your upper body, coming a bit more vertical, extending the arms if you like. You can interlace your fingers behind your back. Any variation you like here. And then we'll release it and come back to down dog. So moving to the second side, same idea. We're lifting the right leg. And then stepping that foot through. Dropping the left knee. Adjust your toes if they didn't quite make it where you want them. And then wiggle. Finding your center, draw the legs toward each other, and take the right leg straight. Bend back into the knee. Sink into those hips. Staying nice and square and climbing up. Maybe reaching if that's you. And we'll release, making our way back to our down dog. Let's go ahead and drop on back down to the knees and take child's pose again. That's as high as we're going to get. So if you have neck or shoulder issues, or you're just not feeling it today, feel free to stay in child's pose for just a little bit longer. And you can add as much or as little as you'd like as we go. Right? So be sure to listen to your body here. We're going to start by simply taking the hands back by the heels. And notice when you're in child's pose, you're laying on your forehead, right? Keep that in mind. You can leave your hands back by your heels and hang here, or maybe interlace your fingers behind your lower back. We're going to pull those shoulder blades together, stretch the knuckles away from the shoulders move away from the ears a little bit. Feel that? So we're keeping that neck nice and long. Keep stretching the knuckles away, and if you want to add, we're going to take the legs straighter until you roll from your forehead more to the top of your head. So you don't have to put hardly any body weight on your head. Right? Can you feel the difference? You can lean more or not. Right? Notice when you find the very top of your head. Right? It's not forehead. It's not back of the head, side or side, right? Right in the middle at the very top. We'll roll back down, release the arms. You can let them hang by the side still or stretch back out. Taking just a few more breaths here. And then take your hands and make fists and stack your fists. Bringing them in, put your chin in the top fist. And let the weight of your head just sink into your hands. We're going to gently release that and come back into an all fours position. So here, let's go ahead and take the right hand, palm up, weave it between your wrist and your knee, bringing the elbow or the shoulder to the floor. Check in again here that you're not leaning on your head, the weight is on your shoulder. And the knees feel pretty even into the mat. You can lean, but try and stay centered for now. If you press more into the right arm and into the left fingertips, you can rotate around into a bigger twist. And then, of course, you can add some fancy stuff here, maybe lifting the left arm, maybe stepping back and lifting the left toes. Get a quad stretch here if you like. Take another big breath. And then gently release what you got. Come back to all fours. So that same idea on the second side. Let's go ahead and take the left hand, weaving underneath here, elbow or shoulder to the floor. You decide. Each side's a little different, so take your time with it.
Opening up a little bit more into the twist, adding all the fancy stuff if that's you. Again, taking your time. Does this feel all right? Okay, well, can I add this? No. Do I want to add that? Sure, right? Big, full breaths. And then let's release, making our way back into all fours again. So instead of having your fingers point forward, we're going to turn the thumbs out and the fingers toward your knees. So maybe the heel of the hand is parallel to the top edge of your mat, maybe not quite. You can have your knees a little closer to your fingers or a little further away, it changes. Keeping the whole palm of the hand on the floor. See about sitting back a little bit. So find where is enough. You want to keep a gentle little bend in the elbows. It's very easy to hyperextend here. And then release that. Pick up your hands and take the back of your hand flat to the floor with the fingers pointing to the middle or toward each other. And see if you can get the entire backhand of the back of your hand flat to the floor. Wrists are underneath the shoulders roughly. The more you have a bend in the elbow, the easier it is, or the less the stretch maybe, right? Keep the back of the hand flat on the floor and see if you can bring your fingers in and make a fist. Tight as you can get. And then release that and spread them wide. And then quickly squeeze in and release, squeeze in and release a bunch of times. And again, a more bent elbow makes it a little easier. Try and squeeze those fingers in good and tight. And then gently release. Go ahead and sit back on your heels. And we're going to nice and easy roll those wrists. Go both directions. Flop them back and forth a little bit. And then they're happy, right? So we're going to give that same kind of love to our toes. So coming up on the knees, we will be on the tops of the knees for a second. So if you need some extra cushion under your knees, feel free to take that. We're going to tuck the toes under. Okay? As much as you can. Trying to keep the heels pointing up toward the ceiling rather than falling out to the sides. So see what you can do back there. And then go ahead and sit back toward your heels. Should be a nice big stretch. Let's go ahead and release that. Take the feet flat and sit back on your heels and stretch them that way. Let's do that again. Come up, tuck your toes under. See if you can get them flatter this time, maybe. And then sit back again. Let's release it. And sit back with your feet flat on the floor. We're going to do that one more time. Come forward. See how flat they can get. Heels pointing toward the ceiling. Go ahead and sit up. And then gently release. Sit back. So from here, slide out forward onto your belly. We're going to take a little locust here. So arms down by your sides. Or again, here you can take your fingers and interlace your fingers behind your back. We want to tuck the tailbone toward the floor. Right? So the lower back is long. Keeping the feet on the floor for a moment, go ahead and roll your shoulders up by your ears together on your back. Stretch them down toward your hip bones. The knuckles can reach back for your heels, or your fingers can reach back toward your feet, depending if you're lifting there. And then let's release that. Make a little pillow for your head. And we're going to work with the lower body. So spread your toes wide and imagine extending your big toe toward the wall behind you, lifting the legs away from the mat, using the hamstrings at least as much as the glutes. We'll release the legs. And then we're going to put that together. So arms back down by your sides, interlace behind your back if you're going there. Pelvis turning down toward the floor, rolling through the shoulders to lift the chest, extending through the big toes to lift the legs. You got one more breath. And then release it. Making that little pillow for your head again. Turn the toes toward each other and then just gently rock back and forth on your hips. We'll come back to center and then simply roll over onto the back. Just take a moment. Your legs can be straighter, the feet can be flat to the floor. Just release your backside into the mat. Finding that neutral spine. So the shoulders feel even, released back into the mat. Your lower back lifts away from the floor. Your pelvis feels level. Yeah. If they're not already, take your feet flat to the floor. Keeping the neutral curves in the spine, extend the right leg straight up toward the ceiling. We're going to reach behind the leg and interlace the fingers. Try and relax your shoulders back. If this is a great big giant stretch, you don't have to do any more. But maybe as you exhale, see if you can pull that right leg in toward your chest just a little bit more. And then inhale and release it. So exhale as you pull it closer, and inhale to let it go. Nice and easy. Maybe you find you can go a little deeper. Maybe you find that the pelvis starts to rock, or you can't keep your shoulders down. So find your edge. Take just a couple more breaths like that. And then find a little stretch, but not the biggest part. Extend the left arm and glue the left side of your body to the floor, including that left hip. Support the outside of your leg with your right hand and start to drop out to the right. You're going to feel your left hip start to get really light. So stop before the weight shifts. Let the weight of the leg rest into the hand. You can intensify the stretch by flexing your right foot, rotating your toes toward the floor and your heel toward the ceiling-ish, right? But watching to keep the hip rounded. Take another big breath. And then come on back to the middle and release the right foot. So let's go second side. Lifting the left leg, keeping the neutral curves in the spine as you reach behind the leg, maybe a little in and out. Finding your edge. Let's find that middle ground for the left leg. Extend the right arm out to the right. Support the leg with the left hand and start to fall to the left. Staying grounded on the right hip. Flex the foot, rotate the toes, any little piece that you want. Take another nice big breath here. And then make your way back to center, releasing the left foot. Let's draw both knees into the chest and we're going to rock a little bit here. Massage your back, up and down, side to side, whatever feels good. We'll open the arms out into a T position. You can leave the knees tucked to the chest. You can take the feet to the floor. You can take your legs straight. We're going to drop the legs over to the right. Taking just a couple more breaths over on this side. Bringing it back to center. Taking it over to the left. The next inhale, bring yourself back to center again. Squeezing the knees back in, rocking. And then hugging the knees in and bringing your forehead towards your knees. Releasing that out into a full body stretch. Releasing the stretch, bringing your arms back down by your sides, making the body comfortable for Shavasana. releasing the muscles, releasing the breath. Releasing any random thought that wanders into your mind. Just allowing yourself to rest. Slowly draw in a deep, cleansing breath, and then let it go. Gently restoring movement to your body. When you're ready, taking the feet flat. Keeping the eyes closed in your mind in this quiet place. Gently make your way back to seated. Sitting well and bringing the palms to touch. Bowing to the light within. Namaste. Thanks for practicing with me today, you guys. This is my last time from here. So I'll be off for 2 weeks. And then when I'm back, I will be hopefully in my new location. New settled location just for yoga. So have a great couple of weeks. Have a happy Halloween, and I will see you soon. I'll load some videos for you so you guys can practice next 2 weeks. All right, thank y'all. See ya.